Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Truthful Tuesday. And I pray that as you're going through your work week or you're relaxing before your work week starts, that something is said and something is done that speaks to your spirit and allows you to know that God is hearing and answering your prayers. Now, be ready for the answer that God gives, because it may not be how you ask for it. He may give you something better, or he may say, or she may say, it's not time yet. But delay does not mean denial. On today, I want to talk to you about, and I want to ask the question, whose fault is it really? Is it really their fault or our fault? You know, so many times we want to point the finger and we want to point and give the blame to someone else. But when we look at our hand, if we look, there's 3 fingers pointing back at us. So there's 1 pointing at them and 3 at us, which means it's more our fault than it is theirs, because we've allowed and we've taken into consideration and we've given them the ability to do whatever it is that we want them to do. You know, the saying is that nobody can do to you what you don't allow. And so many times we allow it because we're afraid to be alone. We're afraid that we're not going to have the things that we need. We're afraid that someone's not going to want to be in our life, because we give them, boundaries and expectations of how to treat us and how to interact with us. Or we are showing them how we need to be loved or be treated and handled. And because we don't want to cause that friction, we don't want to have that conflict, we allow them to do whatever it is that they do. But when we get to that point where we've had enough, and if they're truly your friend, if they're truly your backbone, if they're truly sent to you from God, then when you set those boundaries and those expectations, they're going to see them and they're going to respect them. Now, here's the flip side of that. If you set those boundaries and expectations and they don't respect them and they continue to treat you, talk to you, handle you any kind of way, and you are truly standing on the firm foundation and premise that you're not going to take it anymore, then you may have to give them the gift of goodbye. You may have to give them that thing that says, you know what, we can talk in passing, we can talk in social settings, but as far as having that personal and intimate relationship, friendship, whatever it is, interaction, we can't be on that level. And it's okay. Because there are some things in some places that you're going that they can't go anyway. So this is the time to cut that off, and the season is over. But you have to get to the point where you set those boundaries, you set those expectations, you show them by how you love yourself, how you treat yourself, how you handle yourself, how you speak to yourself, how they need to treat you and how they need to handle you and how the interaction needs to go. But if you're not treating yourself well, others are not going to treat you well either, because they're going to see how you treat yourself and they're going to be like, oh, she's used to that, so it's okay if I do it. But it's not. Today on this hashtag Truthful Tuesday, hashtag hold on, I'm going to put Jesus on that. All issues, hashtag you've been released. It is time to set those boundaries, to set those expectations, not only with others, but with yourself. And say, today is the day that I move forward and I love me enough to say that I'm willing to walk away not from all the hurtful and harmful things that I'm allowing to take place in my life, and I no longer allow them to be there. If you are at that point, make that declaration and then activate it. Make that declaration, but then also activate it in your life. And stop going down that rabbit hole and around that mountain, and get to your place of promise. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on tomorrow.